Hey YouTube. So in my last video you seen where I chisel plowed and cut some to get this sunflowers ready. I'm gonna try something. It's kind of an experiment for next year. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bed this thing, and after I'm done bedding it, I'm gonna plant it. But I'm gonna knock the bed back down a little bit. But I'm trying to create a square furrow, so to speak, or a square row for the planter to ride on, and I want to see how that acts. Had a guy ask me on one of my other videos about would I choose that International planter over a Cole. I've only ever had that International planter, but I can't imagine a Cole being a bad planter. The company's been around forever, and if I had my choice right now today whether I'd take an International or a Cole, it'd probably be a Cole, because for one thing I can buy parts for it still. You're lucky to find anything for the International planter. And not taking away from it, I love it and enjoy using it, but I'm just saying if I was to go seek and buy a planter, it would probably be a Cole. But anyway, thank y'all guys for watching, subscribing and commenting, and just subscribe please if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, and we thank you. Alright YouTube, the thought is here, when I cut this, I don't know if it showed up on film or not, but it had ruts, or what I call disc tracks, in it about that deep. And I was thinking about my corn next year, you know, whether I use the Perfector or not. I said, well, if I put it all in rolls and I knock it down right as I plant it, number one, I got a place for the tractor to ride. Number two, I got a uniform bed to plant in. And number three, if I bed it and it was to rain on it, and I come back, say 2 or 3, 4 days later and plant it, I got all that moisture in the bed and stays in the bed. So this is kind of an experiment for next year's corn crop, because I may try to plant about 1 acre or 2 of the Hastings Prolific. And I'm gonna do an update video on all the gardens, just a garden update. And I got a little roll of something secret coming up that I planted that I hadn't put on film. I didn't want the crows to watch the video and get it up, but it's coming up, and it's a roll and a half, and it's the last of the Jimmy Red I had, and it's coming up good. And so it looks like, you know, a roll and a half of that plus the 30 or so that I planted in cups. So we could probably get us a good couple pounds of seed off that pretty easy if it does good. So anyway, just sharing you my thoughts, and we're gonna plant this in a little bit. Thank you again. Alright guys, we're back. Got the bedding done. We got to change the plate in this thing. So this International hopper's got plates in it. Had a few questions about the spacing of my corn. And here's the deal. So I had the planter planting slow, and I had a 16 cell lost my train of thought there. A 16 cell plate. We got it now. So I had a 16 cell plate in there. Oh look, got corn. So I had this 16 cell plate in there, and it planted it probably about this far. Now on video, sometimes you guys are going to see a plant that didn't come up and it's going to go that far. Or maybe I covered it up cultivating, but it generally, if everything came up, it was about that far apart on it. Now, what you know, hindsight's 20/20. What I would love to have done, this is the plate that I planted it with, this 16 cell plate. If I would have took this 24 cell, you guys can see it's gaining a cell every other one just about. If I'd have used that 24 cell on the slow speed, I would have been planting about that far apart, which was what I would have loved to have done. But hey, you know, you live and learn. Next year we know what we're gonna do. I know I had that planter on fast last year, and I used that 16 cell, and man, it put that stuff about that far apart. Now, I don't have a quote unquote sunflower seed plate. And you guys that's been following the channel a while, you know that I've planted some sunflowers already for my buddy Roger. And I'm just going to use this corn plate here. 1, 2. It's an 8 cell plate. I would love to, I don't know, it's for a medium seed. I don't know if the Hastings would go through this or not. If the Hastings went through this, I could probably set it on fast. Leave it on fast, and I may try it next year. I may look and see what it does, but we're going to put this in here for the sunflowers. And I actually got it on fast now, and they just go in there like that. Always the words facing you, away from you, and this plate just comes down and lock her in. So let's go put it on the planter, and we'll see about what it's putting out before we put it on the tractor. Sometimes you got to roll that back wheel a little bit just to get the gears. There it goes. You don't have to lock that too tight. Let me get a little seed here. What Roger normally buys is just regular bird seed you can get from Walmart. It's got some trash in it, but it had trash in it when I planted it up at his house, so I'm gonna take it by faith it's gonna go through. So let me get some started in the plate. Alright. I'm gonna get this wheel and we're gonna go around. I can't tell, Will. I'm gonna put it on the tractor. Now I can tell. Oh yeah, it's spitting out. It's spitting out trash and all. Sunflower, trash, probably ragweed, probably pigweed, but it's putting it out there, so I think we'll be okay with that. All right, my plan is to let the planter float on the ridge that I'm gonna square up. Oh yeah, bonehead move of the day. I rubbed up against the bank of where I plowed. That was truly a bonehead move. Hopefully it'll dry, and when it dries it'll come out. All right, let's go plant some. All right, YouTube, what do you think? I like it. Everything was uniform. The planter ran real good. No ups and downs. I didn't have to lean across this arm to come back the other way. It's going to all depend on cultivating, how that reacts. If it's, because I don't want to get too high too quick with the roll. So we'll see. I think it'll be okay because that's about the same size as it would be if you were planting tobacco, and never had problems wrapping dirt around tobacco. So we'll see how that does. And if it comes up good, then we'll go buy some fertilizer and put on it. I'm being a little cheap. Fertilizer is so expensive now. If it don't come up, I don't want to put a couple of 100 pound of fertilizer down on this and it not come up. But thank y'all again for watching. If you made it this far, thank you so much, and subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you.